Some leaders, of Russia's Vladimir Putin to Somalia's Mohammed Abdullahi Mohammed, were fast to greet the ex-football player and Istanbul mayoress on his gain. This winners of the June 24 elections are Turkey, the Turkey nationality, sufferers of our area and all depressed, human beings, in the planet, Erdogan told in his win speaking. But which do the poll results very indicate? Erdogan tightens his capture. Erdogan starts a new 5-year period as CEO in sweep. New powers given in a tightly won plebiscite recent year. How was denounced by his critics as a flagrant force seize. By the new framework, the office space of main secretary is abolished, Parliament's powers are cut, and the CEO is agreed broad-ranging execution credibility. Erdogan will as well be capable to stay for else period, importance he could be in office space before 2028. Erdogan has united force at each move of his career. He has crushed against government protests, and in 2013 he evaded a corrupt practices inquiry in his internal round. Following a unsuccessful war coup to shoot his by the government of force in 2016, he removed his opponents by shooting tens of thousands of by the government workers, gutting social institutions, jailing crucial sounding, and clamped downward on the print. Bad news story for the opposition. The opposition gave it their top shooting, but in the end were frustrated at the voting carton. Yet, in malice of Erdogan's close silencing of opposition, nearly part of Turks who throw ballots elect versus him. How tool they yet include a vote in parliament, and the expect for the opposition is the pulse obtained for the poll campaigning will go on. A blended outcome for the Kurds. The Turkey troop has been fight the separatist fighter Kurdistan Workers' Side, PKK, recognized a bomber organization by the US, EU and other, for almost 4 persons many decades, and Erdogan's AKP has controlled out back to a world trial. How compressed in 2015. In spite the resonant win of their arch foe in Saturday's elections, in lot Kurd villages down there were yet celebrations. The Kurd-oriented folk, more democratic side, HDP, gone the 10% limit to come parliament, scuppering Erdogan's plans to eliminate Kurd presentation down there. The was reached in spite Selahattin Demirtas, the side's president applicant, creature in jail on fragile terror extortion, and in poll campaigning while not a day went by out of several shape of forcible assault versus the HDP. Future strike to liberty of express. A stuffy environment of terror has shrouded Turkey's print scenery. On to pardon world, more than rather than 120 journalists are yet concluded with the unsuccessful 2016 coup. The issue now is if Erdogan will produce them. In any instance, the print prejudice was precise through the poll campaigning and on poll overnight, while opposition political community found themselves squeezed off the air as the results came via. The economics is yet in dangerous area. The Turkey lira surged by as lot as 3% on Monday and the nation's standard stockpile code progressive. The gathering could be short, yet. Turkey's exchange, the lira, has fall sharply with an taken coup in July 2016. The centre banking has jacked up concern rates to almost 18% in a bid to stock the title, but how's laying on the ache for Turkey countrymen? Erdogan, who told he requested more monitoring above the economics, has done matters worst by offering he wants to monitoring concern rates. Overseas investors, who terror a losing of autonomy at the centre banking, include undertaken flying. Turkey's Syria unpleasant will go on. Erdogan told Turkey would go on to relieve Syriac lands, for his win speaking Saturday, Reuters informed. With January, Turkey has been conduct a war transactions targeting Kurd groups in North Syria to precise the boundary region of militias it considers to be bomber organizations. The unpleasant has put Turkey at prospect in the joint state, its NATO friend, that supports several of the Kurd forces creature aim by Turkey. In March, the US alerted how Turkey's transactions in North Syria was diverting of the struggle versus ISIS and had permitted the terrorism team to construct its forces behind up in several areas. Questions stay above NATO association by Erdogan. Turkey has been NATO's largest problematical term. In supplement to blasting US politics in Syria, the two NATO allies include sparred above a quantity of issues in latter year, guideline to questions on Ankara's part in the war association. Turkey as well uncomfortable NATO allies by procurement length-range rocket technology of Russia. The rocket framework is not interactive in before existing NATO protective force, and the buy comes at a period while Moscow is flexing its musculature in the Medium East. Time Turkey officials include renovated their obligation to the association in latter months. NATO Secretariat General Jens Stoltenberg has described the tensions as a hard question. Turkey's way to EU never looked further off. Turkey, that has a portion of its area in Europe, attached to accede the harbinger of the Europe Association 30 years back. Pathways to EU entry negotiations were ever hard in the enormous Muslim majority nation, but by Erdogan they include be though less than potential among increasing concerns above the humane rights position in Turkey. Though was the at first poll Erdogan has run in while he didn't criticize the EU, perhaps out of terror of swinging the already fragile economics. Yet several analysts believe he may now wish to enhance relations, of a stance of force. Erdogan casts an eye to the old Turkish imperial power. Turkey's overseas politics has more concentrated on restoration relationships in ex-Turkish imperial power territories, and for in the Muslim planet. Ankara largest frequently characterizes these relationships as occurring of brotherly bonds. The tip of the gentle force for Turkey's coverage is the nation's growth agent, TICA, that inventory projects through the Balkans, Medium East and Africa. For sample, Turkey has set up its greatest across-the-sea basis in warfare-ravaged Somalia to boat train the nation's soldiers. Time its aid agencies carry out growth projects. The coverage through regions has as well been an essential portion of the Turkey's searching for more extensive markets. While Erdogan wandering to countries in these regions, he is regularly followed by economical advisors and trading delegations.